All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining today. We're super excited. This is actually our first time doing a live webinar, and we're going to be simulating an end-to-end workflow using the multiple capabilities of the BrightHive platform, focusing on the power of BrightAgent, the super data agent that is engineered to be everyone's data companion. My name is Jair Augusto Byers, and I'm presenting here with my colleague, Senna Reese. And let's go ahead and start with painting you a picture. I'm sure this life looks familiar to many of you. I personally worked in analytics roles, but I've also contributed in a pure business context, and I felt these struggles on both ends. Whether you work in data or not, this is the reality of data work. And if you're lucky enough to not be feeling these things from context gaps, frustration, tool sprawl, or slow decision making, there is definitely someone in your organization upstream or downstream who bears these consequences. Data work is often quite messy, but it does not have to be. Among all this mess, we know lies a gold mine of data. And with BrightAgent, your teams are empowered to take this tangle of business issues that dirty data can cause, and your near future can look like actionable insights, consistent governed access according to your business policies, mutual context that really enables both BrightAgent to act truly as a member of your team and establish the important business context and knowledge that enables better collaboration. And of course, we are compliant with a range of standards, including HIPAA, SOC and SOC 2, GDPR, and our latest, which we're very proud of, ISO 4200 2001 to 2023, which is one of the latest standards in AI compliance, one that only fewer than 50 startups have earned worldwide. We are an agentic AI data management company empowering the upskilling of everyone to work with complex private data assets. We're really proud of the bedrock and the architecture that powers BrightAgent to do the work that it can. Not only is this a part of our heritage as a company, but it's also what sets BrightAgent apart from unsecure LLM wrappers and similar products trying to fit a consumer-shaped AI peg into a business-shaped hole. With this structure underneath, BrightAgent is able to bring ease, reliability, and speed to all stages of the data pipeline. With its specialized workflows from ingestion and governance to the analytics and visualization that are key to serving business outcomes, BrightAgent brings the power of a fully agentic data team to your organization. User experience is at the heart of what we do at BrightHive. Remember how revolutionary it was in the 2000s when you were able to bring together all your CDs and DVDs and other media into a unified library that you could access with ease? BrightAgent does that with data. We're also in a world right now where people are expecting a natural conversational engagement with their interfaces as a bare minimum. But beyond just being a canned chatbot assistant, we admire the deep, reliable, and transparent, truly agentic reasoning that Perplexity, for example, brought onto the scene of large language model experiences. And third, another inspiration, if anyone has tried learning a second or third language as an adult, you would know that for most, it is one of the most difficult learning experiences imaginable. But what's special about Duolingo as a product is that it naturally makes something as big and daunting as language acquisition into a delight. If data work was a language that only 3% of the organization can speak, we know that with data, we know that BrightAgent can make some of the most powerful data work accessible to and empower the 97% of users who are non-technical. So now that we've shared more about the product, I can tell you more about what we're going to demonstrate today. In a moment, I'll hand things over to Senna to show you how we're going to work with insurance data and simulate a few different business outcomes that are related to property claims, auto claims, and underwriting as our core data sets that we've uploaded into this webinar environment. A few target business outcomes that you can imagine comes from this are, for example, instantly spotting property risks, pinpointing segments that are high cost in potential policies like auto, or validating your underwriting effectiveness, which I know is a big part of the bottom line in insurance. And of course, discovering the most valuable customer segments that exist in your channels, which is something that I think is relatable to many industries. And with that, I will hand things over to Senna to demonstrate the platform. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, Jair, for that lovely introduction to BrightHive. I am going to share my screen to show the platform. So let's now explore the BrightHive platform in an end-to-end workflow from raw data ingestion to insights. First, let's see all the ways that we can upload and connect our data sources. You can connect your existing data warehouses for seamless integration. We have over 600 connectors, so you can easily link to your favorite popular database as well as analytic tools within minutes. Let's just search for one of our favorite connectors and fill out a simple form. And here's an example. And once you fill out all the fields, it will automatically populate onto your dashboard. For unstructured data, you can simply upload files to the data catalog. We have already uploaded some data assets, as Jair said, in our data catalog for this demo for ease of use, but no matter your data source, BrightHive makes it super easy for all your data to live in one place. Now, let's explore some governance features. BrightHive automatically generates the schema during the upload process, identifying columns, data types, and even flagging sensitive PII fields, taking any guesswork for sensitive information out. This automation means that our datasets are immediately ready for analysis. Next, the glossary is a dedicated space for your teams to align on specific definitions relevant to your projects. You can define terms which are not just for users, but also act as a knowledge source for BrightAgent, enhancing its understanding and outputs. Lastly, policies allow you to add custom compliance standards directly into your workspace with reference documents attached and adheres to standards. This helps your team understand and adhere to standards in one central place. Now, let's get to the fun part and explore BrightAgent in action, our super data agent that is engineered to be everyone's data companion. Powered by its various agentic workflows, BrightAgent seamlessly unlocks insights from your data. Okay. First, let's make sure that our data that we are working with is ready for insights using our new data quality check. I'm going to prompt it by saying, validate the insurance auto claims. As we know, data can be messy and can also be hard to extract insights from, so checking the quality of our data before jumping straight to analysis is seamless with BrightAgent, removing any friction of data cleansing and prepping that can take hours or even days. BrightAgent is able to manage your data at any stage, helping you know where to take the next steps in its journey from ingestion to insights. We're also seeing here BrightAgent's reasoning, so we can follow its steps throughout the process to have a full understanding of where our results are coming from. Awesome, so here are our results. We can see that our validation summary with an overall health score of 95%, which I think is pretty good. Let's dig deeper into our results. So under key findings, we see the strengths and weaknesses of this data set so that we see that our data is in pretty good overall condition with our high data quality score, and that only 3 out of 61 validations failed, and that our missing data is relatively low at 4.5%. We can see the 3 columns that failed the validation rules in this table on the right, which are clearly marked with warning. And since our data set is still good for analysis, we are given the next steps, which are creating visualizations, transforming and cleaning, or retrieving additional data sets for comparison. Since our data has only minor data quality issues, let's jump straight into analysis. I'm now going to ask BrightAgent our next prompt, which is which driver age experience. And what's awesome about BrightAgent is that it will understand my typos. From this prompt, we want to know if certain age groups, driving experience levels, or types of cars are leading to higher claim costs to have a more thorough understanding. BrightAgent searches for the most relevant data assets for our answers, and throughout the entire process, self-corrects, so that its results are powerful and thorough. So here is our results. We are given patterns of claim costs in driver experience, age, and vehicle types, as well as the top 3 age and experience combinations with high costs. Our analysis is broken down into high cost categories and lower cost categories, as well as key cost drivers. And what I personally love about BrightAgent is that it gives recommendations and next steps based on my question. So it goes further than giving me just the simple, clear answers that you would want. And let's take the visualization route, but with a new, different data set. So let's see what BrightAgent can do with its visualizations. I'm going to ask it to visualize Sometimes data insights are best shared visually. So here we're asking BrightAgent to visualize growth by customer segment and distribution channel. BrightAgent is able to choose what is the best way to visualize the data, whether that's scatter plot, bar chart, or other graphs. Also, BrightAgent is going to ask me to confirm which data set we're using, which will be clearly labeled along with each asset's metadata. So we no longer have to have guesswork as to where our insights are coming from.
Imagine your team has to pull together who has access to this data set, and that BrightAgent already has all of the access rights and policies and knows which parts of the data that's available are going to potentially be relevant. So this data check is really a powerful aspect.
Yes, exactly. So here we can see each relevant data asset that BrightAgent pulled, and we can approve each one. Under the name of the data asset, we can see all the schema names along with the type, if it has personal information or sensitive information, alongside the description. And here, BrightAgent pulled out 2 relevant data assets, so let's approve both for this prompt. Here we're seeing BrightAgent's reasoning. BrightAgent is directed to multiple LLMs and utilizes the optimal one for performance, coupling both speed and accuracy to insights rather than just being a wrapper. Seeing all the reasoning behind your insights are crucial to confidence in your data analysis and can always be toggled on and off with this blue button here. I also really like how BrightAgent is able to take my simple language prompt, understand it, and turn it into actionable insights with no coding or technical skills required. BrightAgent doesn't just retrieve data, it takes query results and automatically generates visualizations. So there's no longer need to export to Excel or switch around tools. It's all here in one place with BrightAgent. The agent understands context, pulls relevant data, and creates charts directly within the platform. BrightAgent also self-corrects, leading to the best insights for our data. Once BrightAgent arrives at its results, it formats it in the most precise and relevant ways, which we can see it doing right here with its thought process. Okay, so here is our visualization on the right-hand side with our chart, which we can easily export and share directly into GitHub. We can also interact with our visualization by hovering over it. And on the left side, we are still given key information like the axes labels and information so that sharing your visualization is super easy so that everyone can understand what it's showing. Okay, let's do one last prompt on property claims data. So I'm going to ask from property. Here, we're asking BrightAgent to look at our property claims data and tell us which combinations of property types and building styles are costing us the most. Watch again how BrightAgent takes my conversational question and turns it into a precise request for the data, making sure that everyone, especially those who are non-technical, can extract insights from data, making all decisions data-informed. We're taking an entire workflow that can take hours and weeks for data teams to arrive at insights to within minutes, which I think is super cool. Okay, once again, it pulled the relevant data set from my query and I'm just going to approve it. We can again see BrightAgent directing to multiple LLMs and self-correcting. Awesome. Here are our results. We are given the top loss categories broken down by building style and type, along with the percentages ratios and risk factors. Additionally, we are given the property type analysis broken down by highest risk property type and building style risk factor. And as always, the key insights and key takeaways. Additionally, we are given recommendations and next steps to take with these insights.
Senna, I can see BrightAgent for this last one. It's asking if you want to create a visualization. I know that for our first demonstration, we weren't able to see a whole lot. Do you want to either like prompt BrightAgent for this particular query, or we could go back to another thread that we had? I just love
What
to
a
be
great
able to show
question.
visualization agent better.
Yes, I totally agree. And what's awesome about this is that you now know this is for real a live demo. And so we can go back into our previous thread, which is always saved so that you can return to your insights and see our visualization. And here we can see hovering over each bar all the key information and your ability to export and share your visualizations. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed seeing a sneak peek into all that BrightAgent can do in this demo. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hand it back over to Jair.
Yeah, we could open the floor for questions. We would love to answer whatever comes to mind. Otherwise, we do have a special gift for you. All right. Well, we really appreciate your time. We have a free trial that we launched earlier last month that you're able to start. And if you complete your free trial and want to start with a full plan of Bright Hive and the full platform, we're going to give you a discount code for 10% off of the annual contract for showing up today. We really appreciate all of you who showed up today. All right, if we don't have anyone else in the chat, let me just monitor real quick. Then we can close this out. Thank you,
Awesome. Thank you
everyone.
all for coming.
We will be having more webinars in the future. We'll have a series of BrightAgent in action. So stay tuned on LinkedIn, as well as if you are on our marketing email list. Thanks, everyone. Have a bright day.